魔法使いで威力が上がっているからな。フランには共有できないのが残念だ。
残り7匹ダブルスプラッシュ。
なんだあの子は。
So Fran is now level 8. So she is definitely making strides. She went from level 4 to level 6 to level 8 just by simply fighting these goblins and hobgoblins. And she is now taking on, as depicted by the adventures that she came across, at least a level C adventure. Right now we've been stuck, and I'm going to say we because I think, you know, us, the viewers, as well as Fran and teacher 𝐒𝐻𝐸𝐭, have been stuck in doing adventures which are level G, which are typically just picking and gathering stuff. You know, go get these flowers, go make these potions, go do like all these very simplistic task oriented requests by the guild. And I know that I'm sure there's after a certain amount that she does, she'll probably get to move on to the next rank, which, you know, you assume would be E at that point, depending on how many ranks there actually is. Well, very pleased to see that, but now she's definitely getting ranked up very fast. And if she's able to take on all of these goblins and hobgoblins, which you assume the way she's leveling up, she'll be able to go and take them on. This was at least a level C or a class C request or level or threat, I guess you could say. So the one thing that I think we're going to find out next episode is why is she so triggered by this? You know, what history does her or her family have with goblins? Specifically, that she refuses to back down, because even teachers like, yo, go retreat and let's come back and let's kind of review everything that's going on. She's like, no, we're gonna push through. No problem, completely cool. With that being said, the rest of the episode I thought was really, really good. We got left on a cliffhanger in week number 2, and week number 2 was the dwarf realizing that teacher was a intelligence weapon. We find out that this dwarf's name is Mr. Garrus. Like that, like Mr. Garrison from South Park. But his name is Mr. Garrus. And he is a legendary blacksmith. And he apparently doesn't sell stuff to people that he doesn't deem worthy. Well, based on Fran's actions inside of the guild hall, during last week's episode, he did deem her worthy. So good there. So she gets hooked up with a bunch of different items, and there was some really cool armor that was made for somebody else. Apparently that person died in a dungeon, so she got hooked up with all that stuff. We find out that he has the God Sight, which is like basically can go through any kind of analyze eye stuff. And 𝐒𝐻𝐸𝐭, our teacher, ended up talking to him telepathically, which is really, really cool. We also learn about the appearance or the existence of divine blacksmiths, so even above him. And there was 5 of these in existence, and these are typically going to be the type of folks that could have potentially created teacher, at least his body and form, and kind of given him life in a way. The reincarnation stuff was probably handled by somebody else, but at least these ones are able to create living intelligence weapons. So that was really cool. We got to see Fran's outfits looking really cute. She got some underwear hookup, so that was all cool. We got that kind of fan service. We got to see her really cute in a bed and a room for the first time ever. Then we moved on to all the goblins and hobgoblin stuff that we got to see towards the end of the episode. So overall, I'm really liking, I think episode 2 really kind of saved the day. Episode 2 really saved the day for me. I think episode 1 had a lot of like hesitancy and like I don't know about this anime. Episode 2 kind of started to bring it home more because the focus is shifting towards Fran, and just going out on adventures and stuff. Shifting away from the actual sword, which I think is, even though that's what the anime is about, I think shifting away from that's a good idea. This one we got even further, further from that, which I think is really good. So as we continue to focus on Fran being an adventurer, finding out what motivates her, and getting to that evolutionary point, as we begin to get to know more characters, the world that they're in, they're both ignorant of the world based on how she was raised, and then now teacher, he's ignorant because obviously he was reincarnated into this world. So as these things begin to occur more, my interest begins to increase. So overall, I thought this episode was awesome. blacksmiths, intelligence weapons, legendary blacksmiths, divine blacksmiths, learning of the hordes and goblin hordes, and the next thing as we transition next week, like I said a little bit earlier, is learning Fran's motivations for never giving up, never surrendering, going plus ultra, and the why behind that. And the real piece is where our boy teacher can fit into that piece of the puzzle. We also found out too during the Garrus blacksmith stuff that the more mana poured into teacher, the more his stats increase. So that was really cool too. So we'll probably see some of that next week's episode as Fran takes on these hordes and hordes of goblins. But overall, really great episode. If I had to give it a rating, I would say 8.5, 9 out of 10. I think if I were to nitpick, I could probably find a lot wrong, but this was a really, really good episode. I think episode 2 and 3 have been killer. So if you're giving this a 3-episode rule, I think it's got you. So let me know if that's true. But regardless, I'll see you guys next week for episode number 4. All right, guys. See you guys next week. Peace.